Welcome to another Rapid Review. Today we're looking at Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, the Fafnir Knight for the 3DS. I really hope that's how you actually pronounce it. Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold is a first-person dungeon-crawling RPG and is a pseudo-remake of the DS game of a similar name. You and 4 of the partners explore dungeons, all the while on the touchscreen, manage your maps such as drawing paths and marking landmarks. Embarking on a new floor feels like a new journey each and every time, as you never know what's around the corner. It also kinda helps that said dungeons are pretty nice to look at. And then the battles are turn-based, kinda retro in design, but they demand a fair amount of strategy in whether your party members are in the front or back row, as well as just how you level up their skills with multiple different skill trees. Both of these aspects make the adventure really feel all your own, and while that's not necessarily new for the Etrian series, it's still a very enjoyable ride, and that doesn't even include the Grimoire Stone management, town building, side quests, and plenty other stuff to sink your teeth into. There's also 2 different modes of play. Classic is similar to the original game, where you create your own heroes out of a plethora of classes, giving you ultimate control. But there's also a brand new story mode, giving you 5 preset characters on a quest to get Ariana to fulfill her duty to carry out a special ritual. It's pretty nice to be dealing with a few characters that actually have a bit of character development, though there aren't that many cutscenes and voice acting is pretty sparse, both of which are kind of a shame. But without really spoiling anything, it's certainly a more entertaining story than the one that was present in Untold 1. And lastly, one of the best things about the game is just how accessible it is. The tutorials never feel overbearing, you can switch between the 3 different difficulty options on the fly, which is nice because the game ain't no joke, and despite being an RPG, the game is pretty easy to pick up and play for 10-minute bursts or maybe even an hour plus. This makes the whole package, which may look intimidating at first, pretty welcoming. I was first introduced to this series with the first Untold, and while I still think that Persona Q tops it as a story-based RPG, as well as having a much cooler big box, the second Untold is far superior than the first. It's also kind of the perfect portable RPG. The gameplay doesn't really change all that much, and while that may sound like a negative, that ultimately means that you can play this game for hours at a time and it's still great because it's just fun. You could do what I did and play the game in short bursts over weeks of sporadic play. It also kinda helps that the soundtrack is done by Yuzo Koshiro, whose soundtracks are amazing. I give the game a Yuzo Koshiro out of 10. Trust me, that's an accurate score.